I'm Cecilia, I live in Zurich and I love train travel, and I'm trying to visit all 1,720 public transport train stations in Switzerland. Back on the 1st of August, it was the national holiday in Switzerland, and I continued my hike that I started years ago that'll eventually take me from Lake Constance in the east of Switzerland to Geneva in the west, and this day's hike was along Lake Geneva, so in the evening I went to Lausanne for some fireworks. Good morning. I woke up quite late after a late night last night, about to head to the train station, and I'm going to go continue my hike today. I'm on the train now, and it's pretty busy at the end that's closer to the big train station entrance. Less so here, thankfully, and I am on this train from Zurich for 2 hours and 18 minutes to Nyon, which is the standard connection for all those in-between places, like between Lausanne and Geneva apparently, so quite used to this connection at this point. Also, one thing that I didn't mention earlier is I will try and go to the fireworks in Lausanne tonight, so I'll probably stay in that general area until quite late on this evening. But yeah, for now I've got my laptop with me, and also there should be very nice views. The weather's lovely. I've got a few minutes in Nyon, so as I've done the last few times, I'm heading to the little supermarket. I haven't actually had any food today, so I don't remember if they have yogurt. If they do, I'm definitely getting that. On the train now, and I have some pasta and yogurt, so we're going to try and have those while I'm still on the train rather than taking up time afterwards. This train will take 19 minutes to Roll, and then after that I'm taking a bus. Last step to get back to where I left off on my hike last time. So from Rolle, it's only going to take 10 minutes to Julie, which is the little village where I finished last time. I'm just going to use my sunscreen now, and I think apart from that I'm pretty much ready to go. I'll have to switch off the GPS thing obviously once I start. Starting my hike. It should be, I think, around 17 kilometers or something like that to Nyon. So if I manage to get there today, I'll be really pleased. Not sure I will. I'm not going to force anything, but yeah, that would be amazing. The only deadline kind of that I have is I would like to be in Lausanne around 8:30ish or something like that. The fireworks, I believe, are after 9 o'clock, so I think that should give me enough time. Okay, I need to work out where to go. I think it's that path. Right. Also, I am holding my strawberries that I bought because I'm going to try and have them soonish and not squish them. Right, I'm going to go now. Actually, Nyon is 19 kilometers away, so we'll see. Also, I know I'm wearing these headphones all the time at the moment. Basically, my AirPods broke and I keep meaning to buy new ones, but I also don't want to buy new ones because they're expensive, so I just have to bite the bullet soon because I really do hate having the cabled headphones. But yeah, that's why. This whole area on the right has hedges around it and gates and signs and surveillance, so someone with a lot of money must live there. There's the Jet d'Eau again. I think it's Jet. I'm not completely sure. But it's the big water fountain in Geneva. So exciting. Nearly 5 kilometers in. I'm going to take a little break, have my strawberries. I'm also going to have some water. There have been so many water fountains, and there's one right over there as well, and there's a bin so that I can get rid of the packaging as well. So very convenient little spot. It's not an incredible view or anything, but there is a little bit of a view of some mountains to my right, so it's quite nice. And I mean, there's a little bit of shade here because of the tree, so nice spot. And I'm only going to stay a few minutes and then carry on. I'm continuing the hike. I was about to say it's going to be downhill for a little bit, and these are now literally stairs. So that was the highest point of today's hike, and that was barely an incline to get there. There's only one additional very small incline coming later, but really nothing dramatic. So yeah, should be quite easy, to be honest. I've arrived at a bit of the hike that I had read about in the description. It's called the Toblerone Line, apparently. So they're all these blocks. They're pretty big, like, so I'm 5'5" or 166, and they're about the same height as me. Yeah, almost exactly. There you go. And basically, it said in the route description that they're a defensive thing built in 39, I think it was. But what I didn't realise is, I didn't understand what exactly it was supposed to do. Wikipedia says it's to prevent a tank invasion. So this here, oh, I should check where to go. There's a cute little bridge, but apparently I'm not going across it. I'm going here. So apparently this line is 10 kilometers long. We're obviously quite close to France. So, you know, in the Second World War that would have made sense, I guess, to try and work out how to protect yourself. and it's, yeah, as I said, 10 kilometers. And again, this is according to Wikipedia, so take it with a pinch of salt, but it says there are 2,700 of these blocks, and they are 9 tons each. They're concrete blocks, and I mean, at this point they don't look awful because, you know, in this case, for example, there's a load of ivy on them, and, you know, it's very nice around here. So a bit strange, but quite impressive that they made 10 kilometers of this stuff. And I suppose at that time it made sense, and hopefully now it will remain useless forever. Does look kind of cool though, the overgrown blocks along the path. "10 kilometers in, I seem to be arriving somewhere with more agricultural buildings and things, and soon I think I'm going left down a pretty straight road for a little while, but then back down to the lake afterwards. I'll keep a lookout for a bench or a spot to take another break and have a bit of water, and I have some crisps. So they're not proper crisps, they're like bean crisps, but they're really nice. Just took off my rucksack, and there's a little visitor. How are you there? That's where my back was, pretty much. Come on. So what they've done here is actually really nice. There are 2 of those big concrete blocks in front of me, and then they've used a load of wood to sort of make a little platform and a little fence and a bench and a tiny table. So you can sit here. It's a little bit higher than the path and than the concrete blocks, and I mean, it's basically just greenery in front of me. You can hear farm animals, and I can see some trees. I think it's an orchard, and some corn that's planted in the next field. So very pleasant. I'm just charging my things right now, and then I'll probably get going in 10 minutes or something like that. But I'm going to have a snack, as I said, and have some water. Packed up again, and I'm gonna get going. 7 kilometers in. I won't quite make it to Lausanne by 8:30, but hopefully not too far off. Also, like, goodness knows if there's going to be any view of the fireworks, because I expect it will get quite busy, but hopefully there's enough space. It's a big city, like, compared to, you know, some other places where I've gone for fireworks anyway. So yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. But the hike's been nice. There was a whole long section now that was on, like, between golf courses. Is it a golf course? Golf club? I don't know. I don't play golf. But yeah, like, I mean, it was fine. Just apparently it uses an enormous amount of water. I'm not sure that's exactly helpful, but it's cute to look at, right? Like, very manicured little trees and things. But now I'm between some fields again, and should be another 4 kilometers or so to Nyon. Me longer than I thought. Oh. That was random. What I was saying was, it took me longer than I thought it was going to get to platform 2. So I got to the actual station, like, just on time. But then I couldn't find the underpass, so found it in the end and made it onto the train. So it's not going to be anywhere near 8:30. It's nearly 8:30 now, but I'm glad I did the hike. The hike ended up being 19.5 kilometers, and the last section was also, like, quite nice. There were more views of the lake. There were so many gigantic houses, like, you know, chateaus or something like that, like very, very impressively large, or sort of hidden away, but very big entrances. So that was interesting to see. And now from Nyon, it's going to take 34 minutes to Lausanne, and then I'll be in Lausanne around 9 o'clock, and the fireworks are at 9:45. I'll need to check if the little metro is running, but the train station is a little way away from the lake, so I'll see how long it takes me to get down there as well, but definitely not longer than 15-20 minutes, I think, and then I'll see. Hopefully there is somewhere still with a nice view of the fireworks later. I also don't know where the fireworks are going to be, but I'm sort of assuming they're just straight in front of Lausanne, like, you know, sort of, there's a pointy bit in Lausanne where the boats land, etc. So I'm assuming it's just, like, between Lausanne and the other side of the lake, but I'm not sure, so we'll see. According to Google, the walk to the lake is only like 17 or 18 minutes. So I am going to see if I can get a Apfelschorle and a small snack at the train station and then head down there. Oh, stairs, no. Okay, it took me a minute to find the right place in this train station. I still don't know it that well, like the layout here. Need to try and work that out properly at some point. But I went to the little bakery that was still open, and very pleased with myself. I ordered in French, and I even I had to ask for the thing that I wanted because I wasn't sure if they had almond croissants, and I've had one of their almond croissants before and I liked it, so that's what I've got. And an almost apres Charlotte. It's similar. For some reason it just says, in French it just says jus de pomme. It absolutely is not simply apple juice, but I got the right things that I wanted, so very pleased with this. And heading down to the lake now. The fireworks were not in the direction I expected, or a lot of other people expected by the look of where everyone was, or like how many people were where I was anyway. But I saw a decent amount of it. The fireworks were really good, but I wish they had music, but still, really enjoyed it. It's just something where, having seen a few fireworks with music, they're the best. Anyway, gonna head back up to the station. Back on the train now. We're already at Yverdon-les-Bains, I think is how you say it. I've been chatting with my sister on the phone for a little while, and this train is a pretty slow one. We're stopping in a lot of places that the longer distance ones don't usually stop at during the day, I think. So from Lausanne, this is going to take 2 hours and 39 minutes in total to get back to Zurich, and then it'll already be after 1 o'clock. So I'll arrive in Zurich at 1:13 a.m. Nevertheless, I'm going to try and go for another hike tomorrow and do the next section. I'm going to check the forecast and check timings for when that might work. I'm going to try and also meet up with some friends tomorrow evening. Actually, probably not meet up, probably going to their flat. So we'll see. For now though, glad I'm sitting and resting my feet for a bit. Home now. It's so late. I'm quite tired. I'll check in a second what I need to charge, etc. And I urgently need to have some water. I'm so thirsty because I didn't refill my water bottle in Lausanne. I should have done, and I just forgot initially and then didn't have the time. So yeah. I also realised that I'm not sure it's doable to do the rest of the hike this weekend, because I do have evening plans in Zurich both days, and I underestimated the time that it would take to get to and from each of the sections of the hike. So yeah, we'll see. Not sure. Also, it's so late now, I'm not entirely sure I'll be up early enough to do the next section of the hike, but we'll see how I feel in the morning, and fingers crossed. But yeah, water, tidying up, charging, etc. and then I'll get some sleep soon. Everything's charging, tidied up, clothes ready for tomorrow, all that stuff is done. I'm pretty tired, so that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you next time. Bye.